I have a recommendation today, Lewis, that I read years ago, and I assumed I had recommended it at some point. And someone emailed me last week saying, David, have you read this book? And I actually have not recommended it. And the book is A Short History of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson. I read it years ago. It's from 2005. It is still highly, highly relevant. It is a sort of popular science book, and it explains a lot of the areas of science that often are not that accessible to laymen. And it explains them in really clear language so that the general public can have a better understanding of a bunch of historically scientific concepts. They talk about the universe in the book, atoms and subatomic particles and how to understand that. It looks at the history of geology, the history of biology. It traces life from its first appearance to modern humans. It looks at the development of modern Homo sapiens. And you'll remember, Lewis, not long ago I recommended the book Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari. I would actually suggest checking out, if you haven't already read Sapiens, check out A Short History of Nearly Everything first, because that'll give you a sort of broader perspective of a lot of scientific concepts. And then go to Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari to really drill down specifically on the development of Homo sapiens in a more detailed way. Bill Bryson is just fantastic, Lewis.
It does sound pretty interesting. And as someone who is aware of a lot of this scientific stuff and can even understand it in more advanced terms, would you still recommend this book for those people?
Yeah, I would, because it places everything in a sort of historical context, and it sort of gives you a timeline of when different scientific discoveries were made. So, for example, even if you have a good understanding of fossils and the fossilized layers of rock on Earth, as well as astronomy, it's interesting to see how those two areas of science came about in terms of a timeline, what interrelations there are. So I really would recommend it, even if you have a more detailed scientific understanding of some of the individual concepts. And again, the book is A Short History of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson.